As crazy as it sounds, we're already at the week 4 mark of a 9-week regular season. I'm Zach Hanley. He's Andrew Banstra. And this, of course, is the final drive.
And that means each week the stakes get higher and higher for each team fighting for their conference crowns. But the stakes weren't higher anywhere than in our game of the week. Third-ranked Middleton hosted 10th-ranked Verona, and the crosstown rivals have split each of their last 2 meetings. It was all on the line tonight in Middleton. Verona led 21-zip midway through the second. But here come the Cardinals. Middleton's Gabe Bassini trying to make some magic, rolls left and connects with Isaiah Oliver. He splits the gap and turns on the burners for the touchdown. The score would make it a 21-7 Wildcat lead. Later in the second quarter, Verona looking for the response, and Elijah Lagomasino launches one for the Light Towers, and Wesley Brickley corrals it for 6. Wildcats take the lead into half. But then in the third quarter, Middleton trails 28-14, looking for a comeback and make it a 1-score game. Bassini finds Troy Teff to convert on the 4th and 20, and then Bassini just trying to buy some time on the goal line, zigzags and fires a bullet to Damian Hansborough, and that would make it 28-21 heading into the fourth quarter, but that would also be the final score of the game. Verona wins our game of the week, 28-21.
Madison Memorial started Big 8 play out on the right foot last week with a big road win over Janesville Parker. Now the challenge for the Spartans, do it again. Third straight week, Memorial's on the road. This week a little closer to home, taking on East. Pergolders driving in the first, but Levi Duggan says, I'll take that. And the Spartans would turn the turnover into points. A couple plays later, they give it to one half of their 1-2 punch on the ground. Steve Young, and he runs it in untouched from 17 yards out. Memorial goes up 7-0. Now the Spartans would get the ball back after a blocked punt, and Cam Parker would cash it in this time. Memorial gets the big win, 49-12. Elsewhere in the Big 8, Parker took down Craig in the battle for Janesville. Vikings have won 2 straight in the series, and we still looking for that La Follette Madison West score.
Waunakee has been nearly unstoppable this year, but hosted a high-powered offense in Monona Grove tonight. The Silver Eagles are averaging a little bit less than 42 points a game, and that's one of the best marks in Division II. We'll see if that high-octane offense can hang with the key. First drive of the game, Warriors with the rock. Vance Johnson on the play action. The junior can't find anything, so he says if you want something done right, just do it yourself, or at least try to. He'd step out on the 3, and that would set up this on the goal line. Hand off to Ben Lindley, and he would do the rest. Waunakee takes the early 7-0 lead. Later in the first, Monona Grove just tried to move the ball. Cal Moreau trying to move the sticks, but it falls right into Lucas Hamilton's mitts. Warriors with the takeaway, and it would set up another scoring chance. Lindley on the counter, and number 24 is off to the races. As were the Warriors, they'd take this one easily, 63-0, the final.
Putting up points hasn't been a problem lately for the Golden Beavers. Last week, they lit up the scoreboard to the tune of 50 points, and that was a week after a 47-point performance. But it's about to get a little tougher for Beaver Dam with Sun Prairie East up next. Cardinals looking to snap a 2-game skid, and they wasted no time. Opening drive, Drew Kavanaugh hits Sam Ostringa, and the future North Dakota Fighting Hawk follows the big boys in and puts Sun Prairie East up 7-0. 10-0 now. Ostringa this time fielding the punt from the 4-yard line, slips a tackle, and get this, he gone 96 yards to the house. Get that man some oxygen. That makes it 17-0. Beaver Dam would answer in the second quarter, though. Gabe Klatt takes the pitch and does what he does, 24 yards in on the score, but it wouldn't be enough. Sun Prairie East wins 34-19.
After losing in week 1, Sauk Prairie has salvaged their season with back-to-back wins, but tonight they face Division III's second-ranked Mount Horeb Barneveld. The Eagles are 3-0 and have dominated. Their quarterback, Casey Helgeson, ranks top 5 in the state in passing yards and touchdowns. And speaking of Helgeson, he was back at it again late in the second quarter. Drops one on to Landon Elstad in the end zone. 6-0 Vikings right away. And the Eagles, they would answer, though. Landon Schultz zips one to Jackson Breinig, and Sauk Prairie goes up 7-6. But Mount Horeb Barneveld, they were not done. They'd open it up in the third. Helgeson finds his BFF, Chris Keel. How good has that connection been this year? Who snags it with one hand. Wow, what a game that was. Elsewhere in the Badger Conference, Sun Prairie West hit the road for Milton, and the Prairie Wolves would get to work right away. They'd win it 10-9. Meanwhile, DeForest packed up Portage in a high-scoring affair. The Norskies won it 47-35.
In the Capital Conference, the Blue Devils keep on rolling. Lodi takes down Turner on the road 43-0, and New Glarus Monticello, get this, stays unbeaten. They top Edgewood 20-14. Through 3 weeks, Broadhead Judah has looked like a well-oiled machine. They've outscored their opponents 114-17. Big reason why the Cardinals sit ranked second in Division 5. Platteville looking to slow down Broadhead Judah and stay undefeated in the SWC. And the Hillmen came to play in this one. TJ Pink hits Lucas Ludlum in stride, and Platteville would take a 7-0 lead into the half. It's 14-0 now in the third, and Broadhead Judah would finally get on the board. Gabe Backhop chucks it up to Gunnar Bagley. He comes down with it, but Platteville knocks off number 2 Broadhead Judah 14-6. Some other scores to pass along. Marshall stays perfect on the year with a 30-13 win over Clinton, and Blackhawk Warren goes on the road and beats Fenimore 30-0.